Hello everyone. Welcome to the Formula One Mag YouTube channel. Today we'll take a look at the best drivers in Formula One history with you. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel before the video starts. Let's go to the video. Niki Lauda, one of the most important pilots in history, is in 10th place. Niki Lauda entered Formula One as a pay driver, though nobody can deny that, while his money helped him enter F1, it's his talent that kept him there. With 3 seasons in F1 under his belt, Lauda joined Ferrari for the 1974 season and secured 2 wins and 4th place in the championship for 1974, having often set the pace but suffered misfortune. In 1975, Lauda took 5 wins and the first of his 3 world titles, but it's his 1976 season, and the infamous Nürburgring crash, that's his most famous. He bounced back from a life-threatening crash at the Nürburgring to miss out on the title by 1 point to James Hunt. He took his second title in 1977 and retired 2 years later, only to return with McLaren in 1982. That yielded a 3rd crown in 1984, after an epic contest with Alain Prost, before Lauda retired for good at the end of 1985. While he proved his talent on track, he later became known for his business sense off it. He worked in managerial positions for Ferrari and Jaguar, though he's most well known for his part in Mercedes. He was instrumental in bringing Lewis Hamilton to Mercedes for the 2013 season, and worked with the team until he passed away in 2019. In 9th place is Jackie Stewart, the not-so-known driver. It might seem an intrinsic part of F1 today, but Jackie Stewart was one of the first drivers to prove that racers can, and should, strive for better safety standards. As a triple champion and dominant force in the sport, Stewart had the credibility needed to change the culture around safety in motorsport. After seeing too many of his friends and colleagues killed doing what they loved, Stewart was a key pioneer in the introduction of full-face helmets, seatbelts, traveling medical units, safety barriers, runoff areas and more. Outside his quest for safety, Stewart was a prodigious talent on track and was the man to beat throughout his time on the grid, claiming 3 world titles with Ken Tyrrell's eponymous team as the two formed an irrepressible double act in the late 1960s and early 1970s. 8th place is Nigel Mansell. Nigel Mansell was another one of Formula One's unlucky drivers. His career was dogged by reliability issues, and his entire 1988 season consisted of 2 second-place finishes, 2 races missed due to chickenpox, and 12 retirements. He managed to finish in 2nd place in the championship 3 times, missing out on the title by 2 points in 1986, and as he entered his 12th full-time season in Formula One, it looked like he might go down as yet another brilliant driver to miss out on the title. Thankfully for the Brit though, this didn't happen. Mansell took 5 consecutive wins to start the 1992 season, going on to claim 4 more and taking an additional 3 second-place finishes. This was enough for Il Leone to take the title at the age of 39 years old, becoming the 5th oldest person to do so. In 7th place is the unlucky champion Fernando Alonso, a favorite of many. Fernando Alonso is a 2-time world champion with a reputation as a fearless, aggressive racer, though his career can be defined as much by what didn't come as the 2 titles he won. The Spaniard spent 3 years in Formula One before scoring the first of his 2 consecutive crowns, taking the title with a comfortable 21-point lead over Kimi Räikkönen. His 2nd title the year later was a 13-point lead over the great Michael Schumacher, though this is where Alonso's good fortune seemed to run out. A move to McLaren in 2007 to partner then-rookie Lewis Hamilton saw him finish the season in 3rd, just 1 point behind winner Kimi Räikkönen and behind Hamilton, who had the same points but more wins. His 2010 move to Ferrari looked like it would pay off as he entered the final race of the season in the lead, but a combination of him getting stuck behind Vitaly Petrov and a win for Sebastian Vettel meant Alonso had to settle for 2nd. He missed the 2012 title by just 3 points, again to Vettel, and was 2nd again in 2013, though was 155 points the German. He moved back to McLaren in 2015 just in time for the disastrous McLaren-Honda relationship, and after 4 tough years he left at the end of 2018 just before McLaren made their way back towards the front of the grid. Even the 2021 season was unkind to Alonso. Racing for the midfield Alpine team, he secured a 4th place at the 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix, the best he'd finished for 7 years, while his teammate Esteban Ocon went on to win, though a long-awaited 98th podium finally in Qatar. Despite the terrible luck that Alonso has exhibited in Formula One, he's still taken 32 wins, 22 pole positions and 23 fastest laps, and is a firm fan favorite. Max Verstappen, son of former Formula One driver Jos, spent just 1 year in car racing before making his F1 debut. While he got to grips with the single-seaters in the Florida Winter Series, his junior career is best remembered for his 2014 European Formula 3 campaign when he finished 3rd in the championship behind Tom Blomqvist and title winner Esteban Ocon. This single season, in which he took 10 wins from 32 races, including 6 consecutive wins, was enough to earn him the move up to F1, taking a seat at Red Bull's sister team Toro Rosso for 2015 and becoming the youngest ever Grand Prix driver. His inaugural F1 season returned some success in middle-of-the-pack machinery, 10 points-paying finishes from 19 races, but it was his second season where he really announced his entry in F1. Getting the call-up to the senior Red Bull team 5 races into the 2016 season, replacing the beleaguered Daniil Kvyat, Verstappen took his first win immediately at the Spanish GP, aided by Mercedes teammates Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton crashing out together on the first lap. He'd take a further 9 wins by the end of the 2020 season, before the tweaked technical regulations for the 2021 season resulted in Red Bull producing a car truly capable of fighting for the world title. With the Red Bull much closer to the previously dominant Mercedes car, Verstappen and Hamilton engaged in an arduous, season-long battle for the title. The fight came down to the final lap of the final race, with Verstappen just taking the honors ahead of the 7-time world champion for his first title since karting in 2013. The 2022 championship has been a much easier time for the Dutchman by comparison. Though he failed to finish 2 of the opening 3 rounds due to reliability trouble, Verstappen has taken 12 wins thus far, with his win in Suzuka proving enough to take the title. With a second crown to his name, it remains to be seen how many more he can add to his tally. One of motorsport's most legendary figures, Ayrton Senna, remains the benchmark for raw talent and charisma. His depth of commitment to a lap and his constant desire to push the boundaries for more has meant that Senna has a special place in the hearts of many motorsport fans. His 3 titles give a sense of what could have been had he not died at the San Marino Grand Prix in 1994. A combination of natural speed and restless ambition gave Senna an edge rarely seen. Such is his legacy that even nearly 30 years after his death, Senna's cars and how he won his greatest F1 title are still talked about. 3rd place is Alain Prost. It was Alain Prost's meticulous style that allowed him to go up against Ayrton Senna, the bitter feud that he is best remembered for. His secret weapon was brainpower, as well as speed, and he possessed a natural precision in his driving that allowed Prost to become France's first world champion in 1985. In 1987 he beat Jackie Stewart's record of 27 wins, and a year later McLaren won 15 out of 16 races across the season, which is testament to both Prost and Senna's skill. Prost remained at the top of his game until his retirement, taking his 4th and final title for Williams at 38 years old. Now we come to the top 3. Sebastian Vettel, who announced his retirement this year, is in the 3rd place. While his form in Formula One slowed towards the end of his career, there was a time when Sebastian Vettel was virtually unbeatable. Vettel's F1 career started in 2007 and, in his first 3 years, he took 9 podiums and 5 wins, though this was nothing on what was to come. Over the next 4 years he became the face of F1, winning 4 consecutive championships and becoming the youngest world champion in the process, taking the accolade from Lewis Hamilton. He also secured the records for most podium finishes in a season, most wins in a season, most pole positions in a season, most laps led in a season, most consecutive wins, most consecutive Grand Slams, and most wins from pole position in a season. Unfortunately for Vettel, the regulation changes in 2014 didn't suit Red Bull, or him, and the team quickly fell back through the pack. He went from 9 consecutive wins in the final 9 races of the 2013 season to not winning a single race until 2015, and since that 2013 season he's only taken 14 wins. Despite that, he was still widely regarded as one of the best drivers on the grid until his retirement at the end of the 2022 season, and his list of records is likely to stand for many more seasons. We are in the last 2. I do not rank among the remaining drivers, because they are both legends of Formula One history. When considering the best F1 driver, Michael Schumacher immediately springs to mind. He was, until the rise of Hamilton, the face of domination in Formula One. 7 titles, 5 of them consecutive, a seemingly insurmountable number of wins, unrelenting competitiveness. Schumacher changed the game in F1 with his combination of dedication, passion, and, of course, raw talent. While he took 2 titles with Benetton, he's far more well known for his time with Ferrari. He joined the team in 1996 and, after some highs and lows in the following years, the combination struck gold in 2000. What followed in the next 5 years were 5 world titles, 48 wins, and a record book that had Michael Schumacher's name in almost every field. His second stint in F1 wasn't as successful as his first, yielding a single podium to add to his collection. However, his 91 wins, 155 podiums and 68 pole positions still put him high up in any statistical analysis. At the bottom of our list is the champion Lewis Hamilton, who broke all records. In terms of career wins and total career points, Lewis Hamilton is the best Formula One driver to have ever graced a circuit. The Brit has taken wins in 30 different countries, won a race in almost every season he's competed in, and is currently tied on world championships with Michael Schumacher, having narrowly missed out on taking an 8th world title in 2021 to Max Verstappen. Hamilton holds many of Formula One's records and, with a contract that runs to the end of 2023, he looks to be able to push even further ahead on many of them. While he missed becoming champion in his first season by a single point, he became the, then, youngest world champion the following year. 14 years later he secured 6 more titles, and is hunting for an 8th. We have come to the end of the list. All the drivers we have described here are valuable and talented. Thank you for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video.